Flag, and we are underway. Trouble right on the start, just like in the NASCAR Featherline Modified Series. One car did not come up to speed, and your speculation?
Yeah,
Sean?
it looks like Russ LaJoie just happened to miss a shift there and backed up the rest of the field there on the outside row, and it's going to cause problems for everybody all the way through turns 1 and 2, and that's where the final outcome came, and that was Paul Hurd, who's going to be pulling out of the infield coming out of turn number 2. Unfortunate for him, but still plenty of time even starting at the tail end of the field for Paul to come up through.
So a tough break for him as we are under
quite a ways behind, just like I was talking about, and it looked like a good start. Hank Scarpa waving the green flag ferociously, so usually there's a lazy green when something's not right. Everything looks good, and Rob Janovic making a strong move outside of Fletch right now to lock into that second position.
Off turn number 4, down to the stripe. Sean Podjeski shows the way. Rob Janovic is in hot pursuit. Then further on back, a good battle is on for 4th. Also there as well, Glenn Riley now trying to work down to the inside with the World Gym Machine as he's trying to muscle his way up to the front. But the battle that's going on for 4th, you got Larry Goss and car 00 of Ernie Bertrand trying to work to the inside.
Yeah, nice 2-wide action going on from the 4th place on back right now, and Larry Goss breaking out of that pack, looking to get around Fletch. And Rob Janovic with his hands full right now, trying to get around Sean Podjeski. As you've seen 1 lap ago, make contact with Sean Podjeski, and the car was crossed up out of the turn. This time, Rob to the high side, trying to make it stick each time. And Sean, of course, not wanting to give up 1 inch. He wants to hold on to that lead with 27 more laps. And looks like Rob's got a very strong car right now, inching slowly and slowly towards that lead. Of course, Sean drifting up the track because he doesn't want to give an inch.
And meanwhile, Corey Hutchings is also working his way to the front. He'll work that machine up to the outside. Rob Fletcher down to the inside. Hutchings is the man on the move with car number 36. Let's keep a track on Phil Rondo. He's also working his way up to the front. But how about Alan Coates? He's got his work cut out for him as now he's trying to sweep up to the outside. And meanwhile, trouble up between turns 1 and 2 as 3 cars have come to rest up against the Armco barrier, and one machine, the body, is absolutely come right off of that race car.
Car number 24, that was quite the impact as I just was watching the cars come around turns 3 and 4, and I looked over to my right and saw the car basically disintegrating. So it was.
The green flag is back up in the air. There's a drag race down into turn number 1. Janovic down to the inside. Podjeski up to the outside. But here comes Larry Goss. He's looking for racing room down low, and he'll find the room that he needs. But look at Corey Hutchins. He's working to the inside of the Goss machine. The 2 touch in turn number 4. We're still green.
Unbelievable the action that's take course here in the last lap or so. Larry Goss basically slip sliding around the track at this time in an outrageous move that Sean Podjeski with trouble, our pole sitter and running up there in the top 3 here in the past few laps, is going to come to a stop there on the exit of turn number 2 and bring out the second caution of the evening. So with just 2 more laps completed since that last run.
So a tough break for Podjeski. As you can see, his car has come to rest.
Rob Janovic with a good jump there. Corey Hutchins as well, both leaving Larry Goss behind. They're going to do a shootout right now with Corey running very strong on the high side of Rob Janovic. In fact, he's going to lead this bunch going into turns number 3. Rob Janovic going to slide up and take away as much racing room as he can because, of course, he doesn't want to give up that top spot to Corey Hutchins.
And I'll tell you, Corey Hutchins now doing a great job of working up to the outside. But I'll tell you, how about car number 51, Rob Janovic, as they run side by side, fender to fender, wheel to wheel off of turn number 4. The best seat in the house is Larry Goss, but starting to close in is Phil Rondo. He's in 4th. Mark St. Hilaire runs in 5th. And then further on back, Alan Coates is trying to work his way up to the front as well.
Well, if you notice, there's another pack of cars there sitting out of the top 10, which would consist of some past feature winners like Glenn Riley in car number 99, Paul Hurd in car number 32. Alan Coates is working his way back out through traffic. And, of course, Jeff Carnes, who had to pit there on the first lap of the race, also halfway back up through the field. So strong run by those guys as they make their way back up through the traffic. Meanwhile, up in the front, Rob Janovic still in command. Corey Hutchins has now fallen back behind Rob Janovic. Just needs to apply a little bit of pressure. And, of course, Rob's going to want to hold all of them off as Larry Goss is going to do the same to Phil Rondo and Mark St. Hilaire.
One car has come to rest up against the Armco barrier. He started spinning like a top, and now the machine comes to rest right in front of the Armco barrier, and it looks like it could be the number 2 machine for Dwayne Knoll from our vantage point.
It indeed is car number 2 of Dwayne Knoll. And Deuces are wild.
Has a radio show. Of course, he's taking that over from Pete Zanardi and David Dykes. Let's Talk Racing each and every Wednesday night. But right now, back to the action up front. Janovic still trying to work that inside. Up to the outside, Corey Hutchins. But look who's in the mix. Phil Rondo, who now will work his machine down to the inside of Hutchins.
Up, we're going to have a caution coming out to the field. Hank Scarpa quickly to throw the caution. What seemed to be car number 09, rookie leader right now, Kenny Bird, with a right front flat as he made contact with car number 88, driven by Eddie Weber. And from all that action, the 10 was involved. Didn't quite see exactly how he was, but seems like the 10 car is.
Janovic that shows the way. Hutchins out to the inside, and I almost thought that car number 6 of Larry Goss was going to try to make it 3 wide, but he thought better of it. But here comes Mark St. Hilaire. He's already got 3 feature wins in the 2001 season. He wants to pick up his 4th here tonight. Is now he'll work to the inside or outside of Phil Rondo, but they are 3 wide off of turn number 4. The late models at their best right up at the front of this one.
Well, look at what happened there all the way back to the restart where Larry Goss had started that race in the 5th position, jumped right in front of Phil Rondo on that restart and worked his way all the way up to the front. Now, he's recently been working on his chassis with that car number 6, and it looks like the help has gone quite a ways because he's now battling Rob Janovic, and Janovic, who had his hands full with car number 36 of Corey Hutchins down low, to his surprise, it found car number 6 jump down low, and now Corey Hutchins is looking to do the same thing in return to car number 6 and leave Janovic out to dry. And we'll have to see what happens here as Mark St. Hilaire also running into making a 4-car battle, and Phil Rondo is doing what I believe is hanging back, waiting for the action to unravel.
Well, I'll tell you, throw a blanket over those top 5 machines there. St. Hilaire still trying to work up to the outside. Rondo is down low, working to the inside. But meanwhile, the battle's on for the number 1 spot. Larry Goss is down to the inside. In the meantime, he maintains that number 1 spot. But here comes Janovic, still trying to work up to the outside. They're side by side, fender to fender, wheel to wheel. Exciting late model action off of turn 4.
Look at that. Corey Hutchins seems to have the car right at this time, holding it right down on the bottom of the line. Yellow flag is out.
As Sean Podjeski apparently may have tagged the Armco barrier coming off of turn number 4, because all of a sudden we saw the car flash by us and the right front fender has been peeled back on that machine along with the right front wheel. Right now, this one is back under green, and it's Corey Hutchins. It looks like he is going to leave the rest of the field, but caution on the speedway.
Yeah, Hank Scarpa says, I don't think so. Slightly jumping on the start here, setting the field back quite a bit. And how did I know that? Because Hank Scarpa just pointed that yellow flag at him, telling him, you better slow that puppy down.
And we need to bring this to the attention of the race fans. Who's ever driving a Alero, dealer plate XF277, it has to be moved immediately. An Alero dealer plate XF277 has to be moved immediately. If it is not moved, guess what? It's going to be moved for you. We can guarantee you that. So once again, XF277, you need to move your vehicle immediately. It is an Olds Alera as the green flag comes back out, and it is Corey Hutchins who will show the way off of turn number 2. Janovic runs second, but now look at the battle for third. Here comes Goss trying to work to the inside. St. Hilaire's trying to work to the outside. Fender to fender. The best seat in the house, it's Phil Rondo, and he's watching that battle unfold right in front of him.
Phil doesn't quite know at this time if he wants to go high or low. He's got to wait to see one of them moves take place, because even though Mark St. Hilaire could pull forward quite a bit, that kind of stuff can happen. Contact was made between the 6 and the 3, and Mark just wants to come down and close that position off, but don't quite know if he's going to be able to do that. That's why somebody like Phil would just hang back and wait and see. Meanwhile, Alan Coates is coming into the picture now, and he wants to apply the pressure to Phil Rondo. Of course, both of those guys running up there in points, so not only wanting to win, but to have a good, strong finish is very important to them.
2 cars came together between turns 1 and 2. Glenn Riley, car number 99, and the machine of Carnes came together, but they did a great job, and they kept the forward motion going, and we are still green.
Can actually see the quarter panel on the car, Chevrolet car number 68, has basically been torn open a little bit. So definitely action apparent there, but he did a good job of getting back down low and closing that door on Dennis Perry, who was looking to take that position away from him as well. So that's a whole nother race going on there from the middle on back. Meanwhile, up in the front, they've been basically spread out quite a bit. Corey has taken over that number 1 spot once again, and you notice earlier he had patiently went to the outside, and Larry Goss had closed the door on that whole situation. And good driving talent shown by car number 36 as he went down and made that pass happen on Rob Janovic, and Rob doing everything he can just to hold on to what he has right now, as Mark St. Hilaire has been slowly closing in on that, while 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th basically getting clustered up slightly, as Larry Goss wanting to protect that number 4 position at this time.
So right now, Corey Hutchings will try to pick up another victory here tonight at the Waterford Speedbowl off of turn number 4, September 1st, 2001. It's Corey Hutchings. Rob Janovic is second. Mark St. Hilaire is third. Fourth, it's Larry Goss. So there you have it. It is now into the record books.